training coordinator. And he is going to share with all of us some highlights from officer training. Matt, are you ready to go?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Please welcome Matt.
So thank you, everyone. I am Matt Villella, and I have the unfortunate task of finishing off this telly. We have been together for almost 3 hours, going on 4 hours. We've had some great presenters, and then there's me, and I have to bring it home. So no pressure or anything, but that's fine. So I was asked to talk about promoting Toastmasters, and then Lark did her wonderful presentation, and I had to change my whole presentation. No, just kidding. But if you've been to officer training, you know that we've been talking about promoting Toastmasters, and I wanted to enhance that a little bit today. So there are some things that some of you in this room might not know about me. So why on earth did I join Toastmasters? Well, I have a whole speech, and it starts like this. I have a little secret. It's actually a big secret. I feel I have to tell you this. I dislike and hate public speaking. I do not enjoy it. I do not enjoy standing in front of a crowd. I do not like the opportunity to be judged by other people. When I say this, people in this room probably can relate. I do not like public speaking. So that's the start of my speech, and I have a 7-minute speech on how I don't like public speaking. So why did I join Toastmasters? Years ago, apparently I looked and I joined when I was 28 years old. I am 40 now. I have spent my entire 30s as a Toastmaster. I kind of grew up in Toastmasters. That's weird to think. So I joined Toastmasters because I was an educator and I didn't like public speaking. I really lacked confidence in my speaking ability. I was bullied as a child. I was bullied up into like high school, and I lacked that confidence. I had a speech impediment as a child. I lost my 4 front teeth, and it was really hard trying to talk and speak. And at times, I still have some issues doing that. I needed guidance. I needed to channel my energy. I don't know if you noticed, I have a little bit of energy. My thoughts, I needed to figure out a way to get my thoughts across. I thought I could do a lot more. People were like, hey, Matt, can you be an MC at our wedding? Hey, Matt, can you be the best man at our wedding? Hey, Matt, hey, Matt, hey, Matt. I felt like I was a fraud. Yeah, I could get up. I could do a really good job. I could make people laugh. I could engage. But inside, I was dying. I was screaming. I was like, ah! Speaking. It stressed me out. So I was thinking, am I a fraud? How do I get better? So I saw this ad for Speechcraft. Ooh, I only have to commit for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, that's it, and I will become a confident public speaker. Well, I signed up for that 8 weeks. I did 1 speech. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to join Toastmasters because if I pay, I'm going to do more speeches. No. 3.5 years it took me to complete my 10 speeches. 3.5 years. I did all the leadership stuff. I was really engaged. I was chairing meetings. I was doing this, but public speaking scared me. So as I go through this, you guys are going to hear a little bit of tidbits about why Toastmasters has been so important in my life. It has changed my scope. It has changed my confidence, and it has changed my direction. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a big cheerleader of Toastmasters. So the question today is where, what, when, why, how, who do we promote Toastmasters to? And you don't need to answer right now because you will be participating in 1 second. Now, I'm an educator. I really like using technology, and I'm going to do that today. If you're not a friend of technology, by all means, use the chat box. My friend John Barrett is going to read out the chats, but I'm going to go to a poll. And if you've been in officer training, kind of aware of this, I need you to go to a website called Poll Everywhere. So it's POLLEV.com/DTM908. And I'm going to share my screen, and that exact heading will come up on your screen, and we're going to have some fun. I love doing visuals, and I'm going to do that right now. So once again, on your screen, you should be seeing in a second right now, it says POLLEV.com/DTM908. So you go to a browser, you minimize your screen, you grab your phone, you grab a tablet, whatever. If you're not friends with technology, just use the chat box and answer the questions that appear on the screen. So the first question that I have that I want you to answer, and please use the chat box, and John, I'm just going to rely on you, but how did you hear about Toastmasters? How did you hear about Toastmasters?
From a coworker.
From a coworker. Somebody put therapist. Okay. Talking, radio. Go ahead, John.
My dad asked me to join and an offer at work.
Excellent. So look at this word bubble, like heard about it, talking about it. People were talking about a poster. I was told about it. A Rotarian told me. This is a great word bubble. This is just weird words popping up. Keep going. I like it.
Someone heard about it at the state fair.
The state fair. I love the state fair. I'm a Canadian. I come to the state fair. I love the state fair. A lot of great food and great people. Someone's wife told them about it. That's good. It would be even funnier if it was like ex-wife. Grad, Twin Cities, poster, morning show. Heard about it 15 years ago. Okay, so that's wonderful. Let's go to the next question. And my next question that I have for you is, what got you through the door of that first Toastmasters meeting? I have to say that I saw Toastmasters about 3 years before I actually entered, and I was so scared. I entered the room and I was like shaking. I was nervous. My palms were sweaty. My head was sweating. Sounds like that rap, like the Eminem one, right? So what got you through the door? Hybrid opportunity, a personal invitation, your boss. Hopefully your boss didn't force you. Food. I love food. Food, yes, is a good way to kind of get people through.
A free dinner.
Free dinner. Therapist said I had to do it. Oh man. Zoom.
They were promised they could just watch. My wife made me go, and they had heard about Toastmasters 3 times.
Wonderful. The 3-time rule, eh? And I've heard that before. Took 3 times for people to get through. It was online. See, online has opened up so many doors. People that normally wouldn't walk through the door of Toastmasters have walked through. Let's utilize that.
Someone went with a coworker.
Yeah. Having meeting in the same building I work. That makes it easy for sure. Okay, so let's go to the next slide here, because I know I'm short on time a little bit. So the question is, when we promote Toastmasters, what do we say?
What would you like to change?
What would you like to change? I love that. What would you like to change? It's fun for some. What else do we have? You need help. Oh, that's that might not get people through the door. That might get a punch in the face. Yeah, fun, practice. What else?
It's a way to gain confidence. People. It's fun.
Yes.
It's an opportunity to be heard and to listen.
Professional development. What else? It's professional development and leadership organization. Gain confidence and skill. Oh, these are so great. This crew is good. Come visit and learn. No judgment. Sorry, what was that?
Build relationships.
Build relationships. Okay, in the last minute and a half that I've asked you to do this, no one has said public speaking. Interesting. Interesting.
It's a safe place to learn, a way to continue education. It's a supportive group, and you learn new things.
Okay, so my last question on this poll everywhere is, where do we market Toastmasters? Where on earth do we market Toastmasters? Everywhere. I like that big word. Everywhere. Friends, community, chamber, calendar, commerce. What else can we pop up on this word bubble? John, what's going on in the chat land?
At other civic groups where I'm already a member.
Yes.
At
Yeah.
work with my friends, my family.
No one's put LinkedIn. If you listen to Denise's speech, LinkedIn is important, right? We haven't included that in our word bubble yet.
At church.
Oh, LinkedIn's in there. Church, yes. Okay, so I'm going to stop my share. Thank you everyone for participating. You can put your phones away. I know that stresses some people out, so I want to share the Toastmasters International website if I can with you. So I was curious. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be talking about promoting Toastmasters, and I want to go to Toastmasters International, and I want to see how many times they promote public speaking. So I went through the front page right here, which everyone should be able to see. There is one mention of public speaking. It's very small right here. Nowhere else on this page does it talk about public speaking. So I was like, huh, that's interesting. So let's go to educational programs. So I went to educational programs. And I'm like, how many times can I find public speaking? And I went through. Well, it talks about learning, talks about feedback, talks about mentoring, self-paced program. What the heck? It doesn't talk about public speaking. Huh. I thought this was a public speaking organization. Interesting. So let me stop my share. So this leads my conversation today on how do we promote Toastmasters? So if in your club you are promoting it as a public speaking opportunity, I would encourage you not to do that, because public speaking scares people. It makes people scared. I thought Toastmasters was all about public speaking. I hated public speaking. So why on earth would I go to a place that practices public speaking? It didn't make any sense. So our primary goals are to grow our clubs. I've mentioned this. Wouldn't it be awesome if every single club in our district had 20 members or more? GoPo would be so happy if we had 20 members or more in every single club in our district. We would be a strong, strong district, right? So our goals are to attract new members and also keep new members, but also promote the transferable skills that we get at Toastmasters. So how do we promote Toastmasters right now? We just looked. And I was looking for public speaking and I didn't find it. So Toastmasters International, their slogan is where leaders are made. Interesting. Okay, so that is interesting. So I want to go back to the web, and I did a search on public speaking. And what was I going to find when I did a search on public speaking? I figured Toastmasters would pop up immediately. Well, I was wrong. Harvard, 10 tips for improving your public speaking skills pops up. Oh, so there's one article called Public Speaking Tips from Toastmasters International that is there on Google, which is great. But then we go through and we have Mind Tools, we have Wikipedia, we have some courses, but we don't have Toastmasters, not till the very bottom. Interesting. Okay, so let's go to images, public speaking. Okay, lots of public speaking, but nowhere does it say Toastmasters. Let's go to videos. There it is. Five public speaking tips to speak with confidence. Public speaking trailer from HBO, and that's about it. So really, if somebody is searching public speaking, they have to be a little bit more specific in order to find public speaking. So Toastmasters has, I thought, done a really good job in marketing themselves, because people are scared of that. And who knows, and I don't know, maybe Lark can talk about it, but perhaps there's been discussions around the board table that we need to promote this a little bit better, because, you know, public speaking is scary. So who do we promote Toastmasters to? Who should we be reaching out to? And let's type in the chat box if we can. Who should we target to come to Toastmasters?
Everyone.
Everyone. Okay, you kind of spoiled that, but who else? Let's break it down a little bit. Who specifically should we target for Toastmasters? And everyone is not a good answer. Everyone is a good answer, but I want more specifics. Sorry. Students, business professionals, people who value feedback. Wonderful. What else do we have? People, co-workers. Yeah. Good job, Katie. Friends. Tech professionals. That's interesting. So on my list, I have teachers, bankers, laborers, tech, leadership team, management team, political people, customer service reps, people that have to talk to people. So we think that's pretty much every job. Most jobs, I'd say about 99%, require you to have some kind of communication with someone, some kind of conversing, some kind of leadership. Toastmasters has been around 98 years. They have learned a few things about leadership. They have learned a few things about how to improve people's lives. We know that. We all know that in this room, that we are fortunate to be part of Toastmasters, because lots of us, it has changed our lives. It's changed our direction. It's brought us to where we need to go. So, as someone has said, everyone. Now, the problem is when you talk about Toastmasters, you say, hey, yeah, I'm in Toastmasters. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. So I went on a date a couple weeks ago. I mentioned this in my training, that the girl got in the car and I said, oh, I had some Toastmasters training. I was really excited. You know, we had 50 people in the room. And she's like, Toastmasters, like, you guys fix toasters? And I'm like, oh, and it broke my heart. And that was the last date that I had with her. Not calling her again because she didn't know what Toastmasters was. So I actually just had a text from someone too. I'm like, oh, I'm in a Toastmasters training. Oh, what is that? And I had to explain what Toastmasters is. So we do have a little bit of work to promote to what Toastmasters is. So let's type in the chat box, what should you be telling people about Toastmasters? What should you be telling people about Toastmasters? Feel free to unmute and yell at me as well. It's fun. Tess says it's fun. Good. What else?
Building self-confidence.
Building that self-confidence. Right. Remember, I hated public speaking. I still actually dislike it a little bit, but I'm a little bit more confident than I was 12 years ago. You learn so much. It's a great place to network, learn, and grow. Supportive way to learn business skills, impromptu speaking, how much you've improved, your personal testimonial, right? Wonderful. Leadership, confidence, chairing meetings, networking, engaging, leading teams. I have said Toastmasters has changed my life. It has provided me opportunities that I would not have gotten in everyday life. It has given me opportunities to speak and increase my everyday conversation. I was weird. I'm an awkward adult. It happens. But Toastmasters has kind of made me a little bit more confident in that. I would have not had my job without Toastmasters, and I wouldn't have been doing this if Toastmasters didn't exist. It has given me opportunities. I can chair meetings. I chair meetings for city council, the sister city committee. I'm the chair. I'm the first citizen chair, and I have council and the mayor on my committee. It's intimidating, but because of Toastmasters, I can do it. Toastmasters has given me the tools to talk about myself, market myself. I ran in a political campaign and I did nonstop table topics for 3 months. Just table topics, table topics, table topics. It's because of Toastmasters that I've been able to do that. So Toastmasters is much more than public speaking. As I just talked about, as I went on Google, Google is so informative. We couldn't find really Toastmasters in public speaking. It just wasn't there. So Toastmasters is learning how to run an effective meeting, being confident when you run that meeting. Networking. Networking is key. Denise talked about it earlier. I didn't get my job because I wouldn't have got my job because if I didn't have Toastmasters. We network with people. We can talk to people, right? It's a great opportunity. Leadership. I worked on my leadership path for the first 3.5 years. My leadership book was quickly done. I really needed to do speeches. So, but the leadership component is something that doesn't get enough credit, I think. Managing teams, working part of a team, learning how to give effective and meaningful feedback. And John Barrett talks about it in officer training, the evaluation and the importance of delivering a wonderful and meaningful evaluation, making people feel good and giving them the tools to grow and develop. We are Toastmasters. That's what we do. That's great. And understanding how to write a quality speech, not only how to present a quality speech, but how to write one. Toastmasters is so much more than just public speaking.
In your
So-
connections, listen to their struggles. And
Yes,
after you've heard their struggles, then ask to have an appointment with some time with them, and you'd like to make a recommendation how you could help them by coming to this organization that has helped you.
Excellent. Thank you, Mary. And you're a big cheerleader of Toastmasters as well. So that's great to see. So continuing on, where do we promote Toastmasters? So Richard Branson has business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. There's always opportunities to talk about Toastmasters. So the question is, put in the chat box, where do we promote it? Where do we promote Toastmasters? Let's get the big list going here. And Mary, feel free to yell out some answers. Uh-oh, the chat box is just gone dead. Uh-oh. There we go at the coffee shop. Great. Excellent. Where else? Where else can we talk to Toastmasters? Where do we do it? How do we do it? Employers. Okay, good. Employers, HR is a good place to go. Talk to HR, give them some information, drop some material in the staff room, right? Blogs, excellent. Facebook is for the older generation. I was told that Facebook is obsolete. I'm 40. I love Facebook, but I was told by some of my students that Facebook is obsolete. If you want to hit the younger generation, yeah, I go on Snapchat and TikTok, and that scares me a little bit. But yeah, it's there. Twitter, yes. Organizations. All right. So I have my list. This is my master list.
On the bus or
Sorry, go ahead, Mary.
on the bus or on the train or on the airplane, don't be afraid
Yeah.
to talk to those people around you.
When you are sitting beside people, yes. Every time I get introduced anywhere, it's always like, Matt, tell us one interesting thing about you. One interesting thing about me is I'm a Toastmaster. I've been a Toastmaster for 12 years. I'm currently part of the D106 training team, which is responsible to train 700 officers. And then people are like, whoa, oh, okay, what does that mean? And then, kind of talk about Toastmasters, right? So any opportunity you can take. Social media, Facebook, Instagram. For the younger generation, we should look at TikToks. 15 to 20 second little clips, little videos, because that appeals to the 18 to 24 crowd. Anywhere, Meetup, Craigslist, radio stations usually have free events that you can go onto their calendar and you can type in what event you're having. Would be awesome for a youth leadership, would be awesome for a speechcraft, would be awesome for a celebration that you're having to get people there. You can submit a newspaper article. I know some people in our district do that. You write up an article and you submit it. Newspapers are looking for things to post. Lots of newspapers, especially my local newspaper, doesn't have reporters. They thrive on people submitting stuff. Get those writers in your club to write something up and submit it. Local educational institutions, universities, colleges, lots of international students coming. Great opportunity to promote Toastmasters. Presentation at community organizations, trade shows, Chamber of Commerce. I've done a few presentations representing Toastmasters in our community, talking about Toastmasters. The banking community, get in for a board meeting, talk to them about 15, 20 minutes about Toastmasters. Blogs, podcasts. I know a few people in this room do a podcast. John Barrett does a podcast on confidence. right? Local radio shows, get on local radio shows, call in, talk about Toastmasters. They're always looking for content. Partnerships, great way to go. The Rotary partnership, I'm working very hard in our district to have a Rotary Toastmasters club started up for June 30th. We're working on that. Hopefully that happens. I'm looking for that great partnership. Is your website up to date? Super important. Is it? Do you know? Have you checked? Have you been on there? Right? Lark talked about the importance of making sure your information on Toastmasters International is updated. Is it? But you need to check. Right? Does everyone in your club have business cards? Now I know COVID. Now we're just coming back into person. My club, we went on Vistaprint. We spent $20 and we got like 5,000 cards. And everyone has cards. Go in the community, when you're talking to people, you can pass out a card saying, hey, why don't you join us at Toastmasters? Be our guest, right? So you can have it say, be our guest, Toastmasters International, where you meet, the times, you can hand it to people. Great way to start a conversation, right? Speechcraft and youth leadership. Dan talked about a youth leadership. We talked about Speechcraft earlier, Lark as well. Super important to Toastmasters International, and it creates opportunities. And that's what we want to create, opportunities, free opportunities to connect with people. So every chance you get should be the point that you should be talking about Toastmasters. Now, I want you to do a little something right now. And if you can't do it, I can do it. We can do a test. But I want to know how easy it is to find your club info on Google. So I challenge everyone right now to take a couple seconds, go on Google, type in Toastmasters, type in your city, and see what comes up, okay? And so I'm going to stop. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to actually do this as a test, okay? So we have public speaking. Let's type in Thunder Bay public speaking. Just curious, comes up. Okay. We have a New Direction Speaker School, which does public speaking, motivational speakers. So for me, it doesn't even come up. That's scary. Okay, so let's do Toastmasters Thunder Bay. Okay. Oh, okay. So my club is Nanabiju. It pops up second. Heart of the Harbor Club pops up first. Okay. So for me, I want to know how to get more likes on Google to get my club #1, right? So you type in Toastmasters Thunder Bay. Let's go to images. Let's see what comes up. We go through, we see Heart of the Harbor, we see Nanabiju, we see Heart of the Harbor, we see Toastmasters Lakehead University, we see Nanabiju Toastmasters Club. So it does pop up. We see our LinkedIn account. So that's really positive. Anyway, images here. We have Lakehead University. Oh, there's me. But that comes from Rotary, because we had a Rotary presentation. And so we have a Speechcraft session in Nanabiju. So a whole bunch of things pop up from my club, which is great, which means that we're doing an okay job. So Toastmasters changes lives. It provides opportunities, and it makes us more marketable and more confident people. So with that, I'd like to pass it back to our chair, Brian. Thank you, Brian, for the wonderful opportunity.